and welcome to another edition of the PCFF Podcast. I am Cliff Brock. We got a great show for you today. I got 3 guests lined up. Coming up later on in the podcast, we'll talk to the newest owner of the PCFF, Byron Hager, also co-commissioner Daniel Hager, who will break some scheduling news. He has the Week 1 matchups for us, so looking forward to hearing that. But first up, a guy who I've got a little beef with and who wants to have beef with everyone in the league. Of course, I'm talking about the Snake, Blake Langston. Blake, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'd be doing a lot better if I wasn't talking to you, Clip.
I hear you, buddy. Blake and I have had some drama. We'll talk about that coming up. But first, Blake, let's talk about the crazy events from the week that was in the PCFF, starting with Gary Haddock no longer having a team in the league as he was ousted for lack of communication. I guess not only for this year, but for a lot of years in the PCFF. What did you think when you heard Gary was gone?
Well, first of all, who? I don't even know who this Gary is. I've never even seen him.
Yeah, he's kind of like a myth.
It's where's Gary? Wasn't that the joke one year?
You know, it's really weird because that was kind of foreshadowing these events. We used to make fun of kind of where is Gary? We can't get a hold of him, and then all that became really true.
Look, if you can't show up to the draft and drink a couple beers and talk some shit and have a good time, then you don't need to be in the league anyway.
Yeah, well said.
I give Charlie a break because but he's not gonna drink a few beers, but that's okay. At least he shows up.
Yeah, showing up. That's the important part. So Gary out, and then we had a vote. Blake, what did you think of the way that we named a new owner in the league?
I'm not sure about that vote. I'd like to see the actual votes that the commissioner said were going to be released. It's kind of interesting that 2 Hagers are the commissioner and co-commissioner, and a third Hager is voted in to the league.
Oh, boy. Starting a little controversy. We're going to have Byron Hager on this podcast here following you, and we're going to talk about that kind of stuff with Byron. So,
hey, I like Cousin Byron.
Yeah.
In fact, if I had to choose a Hager to be in the league with, he would be my choice because it's a well-known fact that out of the 3 Hagers, he is the most well-liked.
Okay, well, Blake, you don't. You have a beef with me. You have a beef with the Hagers. Who do you actually get along with in the league?
Nobody.
Good answer. Blake Langston.
I got along with Gary. He was never around.
And he's gone. Great answer. You and Jameson probably get along well since you never see him too, right?
Yeah, I like Jameson. I don't ever have to talk to him or see him either.
Yeah. All right. Good point. All right. So Byron in, 3 Hagers in the league now. At least Byron will be at the draft, so that'll be a pleasant change. So what do you think about the future of the league? You always half joke about not wanting to be in the league. How do you feel about it now?
Listen, Clip, every Saturday night before game day, I sit and I think, who of my imaginary players that I'm playing with am I going to start tomorrow?
Uh-huh.
So I'm pumped about the PCFF.
Okay.
But if y'all want to vote me out, that's fine.
See,
I'm still coming to the draft and going to drink beer and talk shit.
So you're going to be there talking shit regardless if you're in the league or not?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll work something out with Mr. Perry, and I'll be a little side saddle. I'll just come in and
talk shit.
Rough things up a little bit.
Yeah, all right. Let's address that. Okay, so I've been saying that we have these votes at the draft, and we take a majority vote. So I've been saying this year at the draft, I'm gonna bring up evicting Blake Langston in Seattle from the league, and I want to put that to rest. I'm no longer going to do that. That joke has run its course. So, you can trash me all you want, but I'm saying it right now. I'm not going to bring up that at the draft.
Well, I think that's a good clip because I think you might have had the votes to get me out, and that would have been kind of embarrassing. And
I want to say that I brought that up because you always joke about not wanting to be in the league. So I said, hey, it'd be funny if we had a joke vote on kicking Blake out of the league. So you can think
well, Some of the people in the league are very gullible. They believe everything you say. Now, a lot of times I am serious, but a lot of times I'm joking.
See, that's the problem. I don't know when you're joking and when you're serious.
Well, you just have to figure it out for yourself, buddy.
Blake Langston joining us. A very cryptic Blake Langston here. on the podcast. So, Blake, be honest.
Look, how about this clip?
Uh-huh.
I was thinking about changing my last name to Hager. I got my coach walking in here now. Lauren, I see it. I see your choo-choo train, Lauren. I was thinking about changing my last name to Hager. There's already 3 Hagers in the league.
Yep.
Why not just rename it Hager Fantasy Football League, and we'll all change our names. I'll be Blake Hager. You can be Clip Hager.
It's interesting you bring that up. Yeah, that's a good thought. I mean, why not just make it the H? What would that be? The HFF, I guess. HFFL.
Sounds good to me. I'm sold.
All right. Well, maybe we'll bring that up at the draft. Speaking of the draft, Blake is helping me out with something now. We talked about this. I talked about it with Matt as well. You're going to bring a laptop, and one of us is going to bring a cable to connect that laptop to the TV, and I'm going to have a little PowerPoint presentation talking shit about everyone, including myself. So that's something to look forward to.
I'll look forward to that. Hopefully, I can get some Strawberry Field music. You know what you played one year? That little Beatles song?
Yes, Strawberry Fields Forever.
That's
man,
right.
That was some, I don't know, man. I did that sober, too. It was just, I would go into some weird place and come out with that weird shit.
You're a funny guy, Clip. I just don't like you.
Okay, fair enough. I like your honesty. Blake, anything else to get out there? I want to ask you this. We are, coming up, quickly approaching less than a month and away from the draft. I just want to know, have you looked at any type of fantasy rankings at all?
0.
Yeah, okay. Well, fair enough. I'm sure some other owners would say the same. All right, Blake.
I have looked at 0. In fact, I will go out on a limb and say I will probably draft someone that is either A, retired, or B, dead.
Dead? That would be a first. The first dead player drafted in the league. Looking forward to that. All right, Blake. Well, thanks for your time. Thanks for your honesty. Thanks for your shit talk.
All right, Clip.
All right, moving on from the explosive conversation with Seattle Select owner Blake Langston to pretty much called out everyone during that conversation. Now we'll talk to a couple of Hagers, Daniel Hager, and the newest member of the PCFF, the newest owner of the Pitt County Fantasy Football League. He is Byron Hager, joining us here for the first time on the PCFF Podcast. Mr. Byron Hager, welcome to the league. How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Glad to be a part of such a great league.
Well, Byron, we went through a process after Gary Haddock was ousted from the PCFF, the New Orleans franchise no longer in the league, and came up with a pretty good, I think, way to determine a new owner by our commissioners. We all nominated people. We then held a vote, and you ended up winning that vote. How did you feel when you received the news on Thursday?
I was pretty surprised. I knew there were some other owners that had, just as good a resume as I did, and I was just ecstatic that the league picked me.
Daniel Hager also joining us here on the podcast. Daniel, obviously, I know you're excited to have your cousin in the league, but more than that, a guy that has already shown he's going to be active on the message board, which is a very important part of the league, and a great member of the PCFF. I know you're excited about that.
Definitely. I couldn't think of a better person to fill in that spot that Nolan, and let's be clear about this now. He wasn't exactly ousted. He's MIA. We reached out, as Matt talked on the podcast a couple of days ago. We reached out, tried to try to make sure everything's all right with him. I still don't know what's going on. I hadn't heard from him, but Byron Hager would definitely bring a lot to the league. He showed that he's going to be active, as you just mentioned, and definitely excited. I mean, Fire Tower has 3 Hagers. You give a couple more years, we might have Jack Hager in there. But
yeah, a lot of talk
definitely
about
good stuff.
A lot of talk about the amount of Hagers, and it will continue to be a topic, I'm sure. And just real quick, if you don't want me to say that Gary in New Orleans was ousted from the league, how do you put it?
He quit.
Okay. So Gary quit.
I've been trying to reach him for the past 2 months. And,
okay.
I hope everything's going well with him, but
okay.
We definitely am glad that we got a new owner, and Byron Hager is going to bring a lot, like I said. But I mean, it's unfortunate that it seems that we're kicking Gary out of the league, but when we get up with them after months and months, we just had to move on.
All right, next topic. Who will Byron Hager's first players be on his new Kodiak franchise? A topic brought up by, I guess, Brian Perry first talked about it on the message board. I chimed in with some thoughts, as did Blake. So first, I guess we'll start with Byron here. Byron, what do you think about how you should come into the league as far as player personnel goes?
Well, let me just preface this by saying this was a team acquisition. If it makes it easier for the league to pretend I'm Gary Haddock, I can do a pretty wicked impression. That being said, I have already talked to some people that are going to help smooth this over. I hope it can be an acquisition. I hope it's not problematic to be an acquisition. I hope everybody takes into account that I am personally leaving a league that I have been a member of for 7 years because I do not do multiple leagues.
Wow.
And this is a commitment to this league. So I'm hoping it goes through as an acquisition. If not, I would like to see, other drafted proposals other than the ones I saw yesterday.
Great, good answer there, Daniel. How is the league the head office moving forward with this situation?
I'm sorry, Cliff. I had a call coming in from another owner. I had to get off the phone real quick. Can you repeat that question real quick? I know we were discussing the...
Well, as Byron's talking about making a big commitment to the league, I'd like you to make a big commitment to this podcast right now.
I understand. I do apologize, Cliff.
No,
I have a big beach trip tomorrow playing with Tennessee owner and Matt Hager and the kids. But, no, I mean, it's a tough nut to crack, I guess you'd say. Personally, I'd like us just all to be able to accept the fact that, Byron is the new owner. He's just going to take over, basically like changing, ownership in a professional sports league.
All right, I see that.
It's iffy. Like, if we were to just let them pick from players now, I mean, there's been owners that have been studying, the available players already, and to all of a sudden, change that all up could force some problems. But I think I strongly believe that we'll be able to move on with just Kodiak Grizzlies taking over the team with the same players Gary had returning and the same draft spot. Not like he's an expansion team. This is just something that, we couldn't have a league with 9 teams. And hopefully everybody will be able to get over that. A couple of the guys, or at least one of the guys on the team, doesn't even have an NFL team right now. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully everybody will not try to cause drama and make a big deal out of nothing.
A lot of drama this week, no doubt, from a lot of different angles. Daniel, go ahead and break some news as far as the schedule goes. I guess first tell us who you'll be playing against week 1, as all the owners are now officially in the football league.
Yes, I hope everyone hasn't looked at the at the schedule that was up until probably about just a couple of minutes ago, because, as you know, we have to generate our own schedule with footballguys.com to make sure that each division team plays each other twice and the other division teams once. Definitely I'm Carolina Crusher in the prime time against the Tennessee 39ers week 1. Byron Hager and the Kodiak Grizzlies take on the Seattle Select, which apparently had some choice words for the league that we'll be hearing from. Miami, the 2010 champion, will be taking on Vegas.
Okay.
DC and New York, a classic Tar River battle, and then the old Chico's gang gets together, Cleveland and Chicago.
Great opening week of football scheduled for, I believe, the first week of September. So really looking forward to that. Byron, let me hear your draft strategy, or at least your how you're going to prepare for the draft. When do you really start going at it as you get ready? We're under a month away now from the draft. When do you really start going hard and putting together a draft plan for yourself?
We've already been looking over some stuff as a front office, but we're definitely going to need to, hear back on this acquisition versus expansion ruling pretty quickly, because that's obviously going to, direct our path a lot.
True. Good point. Daniel, anything else to add?
Yes, Byron just touched on something that I hope the whole league understands. The reason we moved so quickly this week, once we realized that we did have to replace the Nolan's Resurrection, is because we had to be fair to that other owner that was coming in to give him the proper time to be ready for the draft. That's what that was part of the reason we went so quick, and we will come to a quick resolution on if a lot of the teams have problems with it. Sure, we're a league that's for the owners. We'll vote on it. We'll figure it out. But I think, and I hope that we can come to some agreement between everyone that let's just let bygones be bygones and let's do this.
Well, Byron, welcome to the league. Can't wait to see you at the draft, and I know you're going to be a great representative of the PCFF, and a year from now we'll say we made a fantastic move welcoming you into the league.
Thank you very much.
Daniel, we'll talk to you later as well.
Thanks again, Cliff.
That was co-commissioner of the PCFF, Daniel Hager, and the newest owner in the Pitt County Fantasy Football League, Mr. Byron Hager. Also, thanks to Blake Langston for joining me on today's podcast. We'll roll another one out for you next week on the PCFF Network. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Happy footballing, everybody.